here's another one. He promised that he would make your life more affordable. Now, who would have thought that he then, just a few months after that election, the last election, would come running into Parliament with a bill to impose the HST on the people of British Columbia? But that is exactly what he did. And in fact, he didn't just do that. He said that we will debate this bill for 1 day. We will not allow the public to have any significant input here. Why not? Because they won't like it. We don't want them to notice. And sure enough, he recruited the help of another group of members of Parliament. Which group was that? The Liberal members of Parliament from British Columbia and across the country. And he rammed that tax through the House of Commons. The only party to vote against it was the New Democratic Party of Canada and our members in the House. Do you think it's time we sent Stephen Harper a message for bringing in the HST? I think so. Pretty soon, you here in British Columbia are going to have a chance to have your say, finally, on the HST. And you have fought hard for that democratic right, and there will be a referendum in this very democratic place known as British Columbia. But here's what Stephen Harper says. He put it right in the deal he signed with Mr. Campbell, that if you defeat the HST, then BC is going to have to pay back the $1.6 billion bribe that Stephen Harper offered to Gordon Campbell to get on board with this tax. Well, I'll tell you, that's wrong. It is wrong for him to ask for that money back when it was his fault that the tax was put in place, because much of that money is already spent on health and education. If that money has to go back, guess what gets cut? Right here in British Columbia, health and education. We're not going to stand for it. My commitment to you is that we will insist that that money stay here in British Columbia, no matter what you decide to vote.
Thank you. We'll start with questions. We'll start with Daniel Thibault de Radio-Canada.
Merci.
The RCMP admitted yesterday that it exceeded the limits by helping you to remove people from your rallies. There were apologies given to the woman who was expelled. Do you accept responsibility for what occurred? Well, I think the campaign already apologized to those people who should be allowed to attend our rallies.
And then the RCMP came in and were sort of told to push the cameras, move the cameras away. And they actually came up to the camera and started moving. And you end up with this, bizarre scene where Stephen Harper, campaigning for re-election for Prime Minister, sort of standing sheepishly in the background, instead of coming up and just commenting on this, while the police are pushing the media away. It just seemed kind of unseemly, all because of this, again, all because of this email that went out from his communications officer.